Well, welcome back, Raiders fans. This is Raider Sparks coming at you with the Raiders roster report. And I know that we're all anticipating our GM and coach hiring and all the offense, defensive coordinators, and all that good stuff. But in the meantime, we still have preseason happening. We've already had the Tropical Bowl and a few other bowls, but the NFLPA Bowl is set to kick off tomorrow. And before I get in, please like, subscribe to the channel, please share, and definitely add some comments. Last video I did got some great comments and feedback from Raider Nation. So, yeah, definitely want to see what everybody's thinking out there. And I know what some Raider fans may be thinking, no big deal, NFLPA Bowl, but just so you know, there's a ton of NFL talent out there. From last year's NFLPA Bowl, there were 81 players that were signed to NFL rosters. 35 of them hit the 53-man roster, 36 the practice squads, and 10 reserve listings. So there's a ton of NFL talent on the field, and that's another reason why we needed to have our GM and coach and everything else in place to be scouting these bowl games. Because like I mentioned, even in the Tropical Bowl, last year's Super Bowl, there were three Tropical Bowl from the previous year played in the Super Bowl. So there's talent all in these bowl games. They're not for nothing, and so we need to get our people in place to scout these games. And so hopefully we get the hire done today, and we can make it down to the NFLPA Bowl, which is going to be again tomorrow at 6 o'clock at the Rose Bowl. So if you can tune in, and unfortunately online the practice. See, the Senior Bowl is awesome because they really show the practice sessions, and they kind of narrate it, and so you know what's happening, you know which players are doing what. There's a lot more coverage of the Senior Bowl, and it's hard to the NFLPA Bowl to practice. If anybody has a good NFL practice, send it out, send a link or whatnot in the comments so we can check it out, because what I see, it's just kind of, you show video clips but you don't really know who's doing what, and it's kind of hard to follow. But definitely check out the game. But I wanted to bring you a few folks that we might want to keep an eye on during the game. Probably the headliner in the game is Sam Williams out of Ole Miss, 6'4", 265 edge rusher. Consensus big board right now has him at 86. He hit a high of 76, and the Draft Network has him at 101 currently. Honestly, he's perhaps a first to second round talent. It's just he had some legal issues. He was suspended for sexual battery charges that were all dropped. So that's obviously a huge red flag, and something I know owner Mark Davis said he would never touch, but something to investigate. I mean, if he was clearly, truly cleared of all the charges and nothing actually, came of it, then, I don't know. We have a new regime coming in. Maybe they have a different approach on legal issues, things like that. But yeah, the talent's definitely there, and from what I hear in the practices, all the talk is he's been dominating, which you would expect somebody of this caliber to come in and at this level kind of dominate, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's absolutely dominating the practices. He had 57 tackles during the season, 31 solo, 12 and a half sacks, 4 forced fumbles, and 15 tackles for loss. So, and if we bring in Wink Martindale, because Sam Williams plays, he can play outside linebacker or defensive end, whatever you need him to do. He's a terrific athlete. He can do whatever. And Wink Martindale's defense, I mean, it's all about blitzing, pass rushing. Blitzing, pass rushing he blitzes the most of anybody. So this would be a guy that, if he comes in, could be on the radar, minus the legal issues. I'm not sure if we get past that or not, but definitely keep an eye on him during the game. He's got a lot of buzz going right now at the practice sessions, and so that's another reason why you'd want a GM there to kind of interview him and get to know him, and staff there and things like that. So hopefully we get our guys down there and check out some of this talent. Next guy I'm excited to see is Markquese Bell, 6'3", 205, out of Florida A&M. So he's a strong safety. Can play either one. Strong safety in the box. He can play on top of the defense, whatever. He's got tremendous length. Definitely. I know in 2017 he was suspended from Maryland program, and he ended up transferring to Florida A&M. But the suspension wasn't legal; it was a student conduct issue. So we'll see how that goes. Consensus big board right now is at 256. He hit a high of 154, but it's interesting. The Draft Network has him at 115, so he's on some people's radars for sure. and definitely a guy that I'm going to be checking out. He's got a lot of buzz going right now. I know he's doing a lot of social media stuff, TV stuff, or whatnot, but definitely got some buzz going with him, and somebody to definitely consider checking out as a Raider fan. Another guy, small school guy, Gregory Jr. is getting a lot of buzz right now as well. He's from something Baptist school. I have no idea. Never heard of this school. But, he's making noise. The big board has him at 196. He had a high of 194. Draft Network's not high on him at all. He's at 281. So I'm not sure, but he's impressed with the coaches. He's 6 foot 190. He can play in multiple techniques, press man, zone, whatever you need him to do. He's technically sound, quick twitch, good athlete, good ball skills. So I watch for him to possibly rise. And the good thing with these guys is, having good practices and stuff, they're going to get combine invites. So, something to definitely consider when we're kind of going through this. So keep an eye on Gregory Jr. during the game. Michael Woods the second. He's Oklahoma, but transferred from Arkansas. Speed guy, definitely a deep threat. Not great stats during the year, but definitely somebody that is impressing coaches and scouts right now is when I hear with his vertical threat, his speed, 6'1", 200 pounds. His big board, his consensus 444. He had a high of 310, but Draft Network, interesting enough, has 166. So somebody's definitely got their eye on him as well. Stats not great. 35 receptions last year, 400 yards, 11.4 average and 2 TDs. So nothing eye-popping, but this is just more of, I think, a physical skill set type of thing. A combine, a good showing here this week and a solid combine. You might see something, maybe a 4th, 5th round kind of selection for this guy. So keep an eye on him as well. Another guy that I kind of wanted to highlight here was Raheem Layne out of Indiana. He's not on anybody's big boards right now, but he's impressing coaches and scouts at the NFLPA Bowl. And this is a guy that will probably, from his practice session alone, will get a combine invite, which would be great. And similar to Nate Hobbs, I know Nate Hobbs last year was left off the Senior Bowl, played in the NFLPA Bowl, and then did well. I think he was already on scouts' watch list. He did well here. They kind of confirmed what they saw on film, and then he blew it up in the combine. Ended up getting a 5th round selection. But Raheem could kind of do the same thing. This is going to get him on the radar. And then if he has a solid combine, could get him maybe drafted or a UDFA priority, something like that. But, he's a strong safety, but I think they're really trying him out the nickel. 6 foot, 200 pounds. He's shown a lot of versatility so far during the practice sessions, and light on his feet, good reaction time, showing good speed. So, and he's doing well in the one-on-one drills, which is really difficult for DBs. These one-on-one drills are tough. When you watch the Senior Bowl stuff, it's tough for the DBs. But he's doing very well in the one-on-one drills, and it's definitely standing out. Same with Gregory. He seems to be kicking some butt in the one-on-one drills as well, which is great. It's really what you want to see from some of these guys. So, and then the last guy that I'd say probably keep an eye on during the game is Dion Novil. Real big dude, nose tackle, out of North Texas, 6'4", 330. Big board consensus has him at 362, but he peaked at 73, and Draft Network's doesn't even list him. So let's see if he gets on some more people's radars. He had 51 tackles last year, 25 solo, 5 sacks, and 10 tackles for loss. He's just a big man. He's a space eater in the middle, double teams for sure, but he has some pass rush skill to him. So let's see how he does against some higher level competition. So this is definitely a guy to watch. I mean, everybody's looking for the big guy in the middle. I know Jordan Davis headlines it this year. Travis Jones, another guy. See, Ridgeway out of Arkansas is another guy people are talking about. But let's see. I mean, you might have a guy here, a late round draft pick. If you're just looking for a space eater in the middle, this could be a guy to possibly target. But anyways, yeah, definitely some guys to keep an eye on. I didn't picture these guys with too many stats or anything like that, but the Tropical Bowl already was played, and I had mentioned Cole Johnson in a previous video. But there's some guys that showed out. Keystone Camp out of defensive lineman out of Pittsburgh. Darian Dunn, cornerback out of Texas. Joshua Lanier, wide receiver out of Jackson State, and Al McKellar, running back out of Northwest Missouri State. All these guys were respective MVPs on their in their position groups for their teams. and guys that kind of showed out. And the thing about that is, one thing that you might get is a invite to the combine out of a good showing at the Tropical Bowl. So something to keep an eye on. I mean, I think I'm not sure. Dion was invited. I'm not sure if I think he actually played in the Tropical Bowl game, then got an invite to the NFLPA Bowl after they saw him. So something to kind of consider there. And some of the other guys I just mentioned, it might be enough just to get him that combine invite. And that's really kind of what you're looking for out of that game, is just to get on the radar, to get into the combine, to show what you can really do. So I think it helped for Dion, because he got into the game and then got moved into the NFLPA Bowl as well. So good stuff there. So hopefully there's good exciting news. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel, make comments. Love to hear what everybody's got to say out there, what everybody's thinking, and yeah, definitely check out the NFLPA Bowl if you get a chance. Like I said, from last year's bowl, 81 players ended up getting on a roster in some way, shape, or form on NFL teams. So there's a ton of talent out there to watch, and just kind of wanted to highlight a few guys to take a look at. Some other guys during practice in the NFLPA Bowl that's been showing out. It's tight end Curtis Hodge. These guys aren't on anybody's radar yet. No draft boards that I've found anywhere out of Arizona State. So you can kind of check him out. Austin Allen, tight end out of Nebraska, 6'7" guy. He's a Big Ten. I think he was a tight end of the year or second team tight end of the year, something like that. But he is actually on big boards. He's 166 on the consensus, so somebody maybe to keep an eye on. Aaron Murphy, outside linebacker with Fresno, a ton of versatility, big time. Got pass rush ability, which if we bring in Wink Martindale, then this is definitely a guy to consider, because he definitely has linebackers that can blitz. So somebody to keep an eye on, or at least on the radar during the game. Tyreek Maddox as well from Williams, linebacker out of Rutgers. Sideline to sideline speed guy, so he's not on anybody's draft radar yet. So keep an eye on him. And Dejeen Dixon, wide receiver out of Nicholls State. So big frame guy, big target guy, good, can separate using his body, hands catcher. He's kind of the go-to guys for quarterbacks right now. So another guy to keep an eye on as well during the NFLPA Bowl. So and those are the guys that are kind of getting the most buzz in practice. So I just wanted to highlight some of that, give you something to look at during the game. And again, a bunch of these players are going to make NFL rosters, so definitely tune in. Please like, share, subscribe to the video, and until next time, this is Raider Sparks coming at you with the Raiders roster report.